This is a box. It's not just any box though, this is my box. Pro line. If it says Pro, that's how you know you got the best thing, alright? No, this is actually my Apple CarPlay module for my Nissan 370Z, which we're going to be installing. But first, we've got to do a little unboxing to see what we've got. So let's get started, let's open it up. Okay, we have aux cable. This is everything else. There's a lot going on here. We've got screen and host and whatever all that is. This looks like some typical AV USB. So I'm guessing that's where we plug the phone into. We've also got a GPS little antenna thing, which would be good. And a paper bag, so that's cool. But there's actually something in here. I just didn't think it would be, you know, in this kind of packaging, I guess. Ooh, okay. Check it out. You can tell it's professional because of the font. It's professional font. Oh, and look too, it passed quality control, so should be all good. And that's it. It's the model
LLT-CP5019_N.
I mean, it feels solid. It doesn't feel like junk or anything. I don't know what these are. What are these cables? What is the point of these? But hey, we're gonna put this all together and grab it all. And we're gonna go take it to the car and we're gonna go get this installed. Oh, and the other thing that's missing, no instructions. Even though the website said detailed premium instructions, there is no instructions here. So we're gonna have to do a little bit of playing around, I guess. So let's see how we go. So basically what this module does is it retrofits Apple CarPlay and Android Auto to the existing Nissan head unit. So we use the existing screen and buttons and radio and put this module in the middle between that and the car. First, we're gonna have to pull out all this interior. So I think first we have to start with pulling out this surround, then we take off the knee pads, then we have to unscrew the head unit and take off this paneling as well and these buttons. And then we'll have access to behind and be able to go from there. So as you can see here, to install this CarPlay module, we needed to rip out the center console pieces and the fascia to get access to the head unit and the screen. Since we didn't have any instructions provided, we actually followed a YouTube guide for the Nifty City product, which has a near identical installation, which helped a lot. We actually avoided removing the shift boot as it involved taking off the shift knob, which I've heard is a tough job and basically destroys the factory shift knob, so we kind of just moved it around during the process instead. The most frustrating bit was actually trying to remove the power cables for the different fascia bits. They are really solid, but if you find yourself a flathead screwdriver, you can push down on the tab on the connector, and that will help release the cable more easily than if you tried with just your hand. Once we did have access to the head unit, we shuffled it out and started connecting it with the CarPlay module. As I'll show soon, the cables from the CarPlay module connect directly to the head unit, and then they have a piggyback connector to connect to the OEM Nissan cables. This allows for the module to switch between both the OEM Nissan interface and the new CarPlay interface, as well as being able to interact with the car controls, the screen, the speakers, etc. Alright, so we kind of finished the cabling already, but I'll try to explain what we did. Here is the module all plugged in. We've got this main harness here going in, and that connects up to the head unit at 2 points here and underneath, and they piggyback to the original car harnesses. Also from that main harness is this aux cable, which connects to the other side of that blue aux cable that we had in the box, which piggybacks back to the main harness down there. And then the screen, so I've already put it back in, but there's two LDVS cables that piggyback off each other, and they come back here. So this point here, you can see there's two cables there. So we're gonna put the battery back in, give it a test run and see if we can get it working. All right, so we've basically smushed everything back behind the head unit and the screen, and we've put all the panels here. They're kind of just sitting here, they're not fully installed yet. We're just gonna test and see if this works. All right, so we have got everything kind of back in place at the moment. I have a donor phone here with me because I'm using my current phone to film this. So we're gonna plug this in and we're gonna see how this goes. My microphone didn't work in this bit because my phone connected to the car's Bluetooth, which I fixed later, but here you can see that when I turn the car on, we see the normal Nissan interface, but if I hold down this back button for around 3 seconds, it switches over to the CarPlay module and automatically starts loading Apple CarPlay. And just like that, we are in. And this is awesome. You can see it looks like just like a factory CarPlay system, and all the buttons work and interact with it perfectly, and the touchscreen works too. I can use the volume like that. I can use the controls on the steering wheel. And it's all working now. And this is all still working. That is awesome. I love this. All right, now that we know that this is all working, we're gonna put it all back together normally, and then I'm gonna test for a couple of days and I'll come back to you guys. Whilst I'm putting this back together, I just learned that this is actually wireless. So I don't even need a cable to plug the phone in for Apple CarPlay. So this is even better. This is awesome. All right, so it's been a while now, and you can tell it's been a while because I've got a Samsung now, but this CarPlay module, I'm really happy with it. Like, it totally just modernizes the entire car. Let's turn it on and I'll show you. So it boots up into the normal Nissan interface. Yep. And then hold the back button. Brings you over to this interface. So you can, switch between CarPlay or Android Auto. And you've also got some other settings as well. And then it just connects you in straight away once the Bluetooth connects. And you're just in. Like, you're just straight in, and like, it's wireless. Like, there's nothing being connected here. It's all wireless, which is just amazing because you just turn the car on, hold down that back button, phone connects, and boom, you're just straight in, which is awesome. And you have all your apps, so you can go play your YouTube royalty-free music. The volume works, which is awesome. You can go to your maps. You can look at the, Empire State Building, because that's somewhere I want to go. Don't think I'll get there in the car, but that's okay. You can use all the factory buttons as well to interact. So you can press the voice button to bring up your assistant, like Gemini or Siri if you've got... Yes, I understand. Or Siri if you're on Apple. You can use the factory buttons to navigate through, which is really great when you're driving and you don't, want to be distracted or anything. Now, the CarPlay module won't fundamentally change how the touchscreen works. This touchscreen was made with the idea of just single point touch, so you can't really zoom, like pinch to zoom or anything. It's more that kind of, single touch mode. And you can see the lag is because, the screen doesn't have that response time that normal modern screens have. But it still all works. The reverse camera does work as well. So you can go into reverse and it will switch off to the reverse. But you need to hold it in neutral for a couple seconds to make it switch back to the CarPlay. Because if I zoom out, if you kind of go in reverse and then back into first, it thinks that you're driving, I think. I'm assuming that's what the logic is. So if you bring it back into neutral, then it goes, oh, you're parked. I'm going to switch back to the CarPlay. So I think that's just a quirk of the safety, because the car doesn't want you to think that you're, watching videos, I guess, which is not what you're doing. You're trying to use CarPlay, but that's just a quick little quirk. So reverse and just hold it in neutral and it will switch back. And if you don't, put it in reverse and go into first, it just sits there. So something to keep in mind. I have had a couple times where it doesn't want to connect. How I understand it works is that your phone connects to Bluetooth for the module, then it turns on a Wi-Fi network that your phone connects to, and then that's how it's just able to display the Android Auto, Apple CarPlay wirelessly. Sometimes that doesn't work, so you just have to do the simple trick of turning it off and on again. Turn your Bluetooth off, turn your Wi-Fi off, turn the back on, and then the module should reconnect. I have also had only a few times where it will all connect properly, but there won't be any sound. So just same thing, turn off Bluetooth and Wi-Fi for it to disconnect, and then turn it back on and it reconnects. And usually it all works well. So, but like 95% of the time, it just connects and works without issue, which is awesome. And in case you're wondering, no, when you change the volume, the little screen that shows you volume, or even when you change your aircon, it does not show up on the screen. That's because the car thinks that you're in that external video mode, so it can't overlay the volume or the aircon, climate control over the top, which is fine. You kind of get used to it, especially with the climate control. I've gotten very used to turning my temperature all the way down, which is the lowest is 17, and then just counting each increment to know what temperature I want to set it at. So you kind of invent these ways to get around these little quirks, but the main thing is that you've got Apple CarPlay and Android Auto in your car, which is awesome. So for $700 and a couple of hours of, self-install, I definitely highly recommend this mod. It is honestly like a much needed mod for your 370Z. It just modernizes the whole interior. It brings phone connectivity into the car, and it makes it look like it's factory, which is awesome because, there's the other options where you can get entire new head units or the Tesla screens. I'm not really a fan. I like this more where it's the factory, interior with the added functionality, which is awesome. It's all integrated so seamlessly with all the buttons and everything, and it's just a perfect aid, especially if you use your car like a daily driver, like I do. Let me know what you think of this mod down in the comments below, and also let me know what else you'd like to see next on the 370Z. Thanks for watching.